Welcome to the clashing of steel.
And today, as it is usual for me, I'm trying to make difference with something. Today, that something is folksmen. I can't say I dislike folksmen, they're really interesting unit. I don't play them, surprisingly enough, a lot. I play them on rare occasions. But those units have two aspects that I really like. One is they pack a huge punch. Second, that they are rather mobile for an infantry. Indeed, they might not be very capable on the defense side or missile block or counter-charging, but everything else that they can offer might actually make up for it. And their biggest importance, or the biggest important side, is the armor-piercing damage. As they can't bite through Germanicus' vengeance, they can still inflict incredible damage upon even the armored legionnaires, even the heaviest of sword infantries. I would call them perfect flankers, because if they flank and, they do moral damage already, they do flanking damage, and if you happen to be anything that is quite heavily armored, they are the ones that are gonna bite through. Sadly, I do make a slight miscalculation here. My first plan is to trigger the phalanx, which I would have loved to do. But instead, I'm throwing down Scorched Earth because I'm not quite sure if he's that good or he's just that bad. Also, managing 3 units might pull away focus, but this is in such a small area that it shouldn't be that hard. As I do love to see folksmen run, and as I do mess up here by thinking that, oh, he's that bad. I mean, he's not that good. You can already see it here. What he's doing, that's horrible. But then again, he has covered the bottleneck, so that's actually one thing that counts. That is very important with pikemen. As I am forcing him out of it with Scorched Earth, I would love actually to keep some of it, but sadly no. And because these swordsmen allowed folksmen to pass, opposing folksmen that is, we are forced to deal with them. We have the catapults here. They should be killed by elephants easily. Should be. Probably won't. But the biggest problem in this side that we had is that the swordsmen, they went all into the forest. I do love what the war dogs are doing back there with the pikemen, but the swordsmen should have been on the both side of the bottleneck. So even if they would love to come out, one side is where they would have to face or deal with, because, well, pikemen just can't be in a happy circle and poke everybody. I really love what the horsemen did here. They got a drop on the folksmen rear, they slowed them down, they pushed them apart, and now we can catch them and deal with them. So there has been a lot of unnecessary offense, I would say. Well, elephants are just applying force. I can't say it's a wrong move, but I don't think it's the right move to have all of your 3 units stacked in a single location, while they could be used in the middle. So we do have the numbers here, and they don't have the mobility nor the support to escape us. So it is always fun to see folksmen die in these horrible ways. But sadly, since we are doing our own thing, our swordsmen, other infantries are doing their own thing, archers and slingers are suffering. I mean, my archers died, that is purely their unawareness. But slingers had nothing to do, they got surrounded, they had a lot of problems. And of course, stacked infantry fighting. At least elephants are applying force, but considering how he's playing them, those elephants won't live for long. Well, this is nice, and I would not say it's even wrong tactic, because you do have the numbers, why not apply some force? And that was just ridiculous. I mean, he could have just charged that infantry, or he could have just spread his units, which would have been even better. That is the worst thing I see among players. Learn to spread your units. That is such a vital importance. If you don't have a direct charge on the opponent, there is no need to stack on them. If you don't have a weak spot open, that is. Or if you're just not facing anything that you could instantly kill with your charge, like archers, slingers, javelins, artillery, whatever. In every match I see so many simple mistakes. Sometimes, of course, even I make those stupid mistakes, so to say. but more oftentimes there are these unbelievable, ridiculous mistakes. Things that should be basically common sense. At least I have my Scorched Earth ready, and I'm actually gonna hit it here. I threw my Scorched Earth a wee bit too far, and I accidentally caused my other unit to get to combat. But still, this is salvageable. Some mistakes can be avoided, but often enough timing Scorched Earth can be hard. Wow, those elephants aren't dead. So here I'm just making a simple sacrifice. I'm willing to give up my remnants to kill those, I think they were gladiator swordsmen or something. Some premium unit is popular among some players. But what bothers me most about our elephants is that they have not been forcing opposing catapult. Perhaps even more is what bothers me that the horsemen weren't there sooner, who went after the catapult and still managed to be defeated while fighting against Lao's remnants. That is just unbelievable. I mean, the base is pretty much clear. We have the numbers, we have the force, we have the power. But what we don't have is the proper cooperation, which is very vital for success. And that is what will cost us. One of my other concerns is also seeing the Warlock player release his hounds against infantry and losing them all. Or at least, and seeing as opponents have 2 units of pikemen left, that was not such a wise move. I mean, our elephants have lost their advantage. It doesn't concern me that they're pulling back. I mean, they don't have many other options left. But the biggest problem is that elephants don't work so well alone. They can work, they can be incredible, of course, if you're fighting against a total banana or something. But other than that, they can often be avoided, they can be delayed, just kite into preferable areas like the forest. And this here probably was a mistake, because we are trying to flank remnants. And these horsemen didn't make it easier for us. These horsemen are vital right now. But, well, I guess greed is greed. I probably should have not flanked first. I did lose a little, but the big problem is that if we're in such a blob, they have a piece of remnants and the catapults are deployed. They won't care about those remnants. Everything else in that blob will be a tasty bite. That already is one of the simplest reasons why it is not preferable to stack. Oh, this is just nasty. And now when we could use the war dogs. And we have remnants everywhere. We do have the small point advantage, but we don't have the power to change anything. Because opponent's catapult at this moment, at this late game, is such a game changer. He can prioritize on his preferred targets. We don't have the power to, or we don't have the force to apply here. So it would be best if we would just stay on the defensive. These pikemen, they have the force to apply here. They can do anything basically right now because we don't have any war dogs left. We don't have any elephants left to support the other infantry fights, or even cavalry fights against cavalry. But still, the biggest concern is that these pikemen are Miltiades, which means they are even hard for me to catch up with. I mean, if I would be Arminius, this would be a cakewalk. But since I'm dealing with Miltiades, this will be hard for me. What I actually can do is run in front of them in hopes of forcing them to phalanx, which they did, and they slightly damaged their own troops. But I also make a small miscalculation. I do throw down Scorched Earth, but the miscalculation is that I was a wee bit too late with my charge, and that I can't catch up with them now. And it doesn't help me at all that these elephants are chasing after them. They are not that type of game changers, not against pikemen. And that they are moving so close by, nearly stacked, or in elephant's case it is stacked, that is such a horrible loss. Those are so simple yet important mistakes, at least he's dodging them. And my biggest hope here is to force them into phalanx, which didn't happen, that's bad. But I can't keep them engaged, I can't deal with them enough. We did have certain chances, certain moments, but we lost them thanks to the war dogs. And on the other side of the wall, I think we lost a lot in the middle thanks to the elephants. On the other side of the wall, I can only blame horsemen from which points I saw. I can't say they were totally garbage, but from what I saw, I don't think they were that much of a use to my team. For anyone who is playing elephants, try to work with your infantry. Yes, they can be wonderful alone, they can be fun alone, but they can also be total garbage, and their sacrifice can be, or the sacrifice of the infantry can be just horrible. If you have brains, try to use it with your team. And, well, I have nothing more to do than just try to scorch dirt and flank these guys the best I can. I mean, this is where we lose all the control. As my scorched dirt can delay them, can wound them, can harass them, the big problem is that we can't directly fight them, and that is maybe what my infantry tries to do as well. I am forced to deal with these guys. Elephants are, well, they're doing their own thing. I don't even want to know what they're planning. And, well, I'll try to use their pike phalanx as much as I can against them, because they're not that smart. Neither is this elephant player, just saying. Well, I would call this match pretty much open, seeing as the pike phalanx have set up a good position in our base. I can counter it, I can harass them, I can be a massive annoyance towards them. But everyone else in my team? Well, it doesn't help that our war dogs are trying to capture. They're not gonna live long. If we would have even one unit of archers alive, this would be such a horrific show against these pikes. That would actually give us a chance if we would defend it. And, oh, he's thinking I'm gonna fight him. For a moment I thought he even removed phalanx, but that's the goddamn ability, I forgot. I'm not gonna go close, I'm not that stupid. I'm not that naive. But what I am gonna do is, I'm gonna harass them, poke them, and see what I can do. I honestly think that our war dogs, or handlers, just gave away our score advantage. I mean, it's not like they could have done a lot here, but going alone, that was not a wise decision. But I like this moment here. I sneak around them. I got to their flank and I harassed them a wee bit. But I am still very much bothered that even handful of pike soldiers can push me away. What are there? 6, 7 of them, of course. And they can just easily push me away. These guys should be so easy to surround, actually. But they can just turn, they can just maneuver, they can just poke with their pikes. I really dislike that. I mean, I can understand that the pikemen work in their very own special way, but handful of them, just a little remnants of them, that they can work so horribly against me. And that little unit of pikes pretty much beat the living hell out of me. But, well, this guy has lost his advantage. That was a mistake. You turned and activated your pike phalanx against weaker foes. You should have faced it this way. Oh, that catapult. I can never breathe. Catapult should have been such an easy target to finish off, yet my horsemen were ridiculous. This match has been just terrible. We had so many advantages, we had so many chances, we had so many options. And yet one simple mistake can cost a lot. But these horsemen here are gonna suffer. Oh, how they're gonna suffer. I'm just gonna use Defiance to beat the living hell out of this one. I mean, I have done all I can. It's not like this infantry could have done much more, considering they're the ones that are left, they're the ones that stick to defend the base. We had chances, we had advantages, we had possibilities, we had options. But everything was given away. And one of the key things to take back from this battle is defend your ranged units, don't waste your war dogs when there are important pike or spear units up around the map. And of course, try to kill the catapults if there is a chance. But okay, let's head over to the scoreboard. Well, this was a rather long battle. I earned the most score in my team, half of it thanks to decapturing opponents, of course. And this was just nasty. I tried to fight against opposing folksmen, who were played, of course, with the Ambiorix. only God knows why. Didn't make it very far. Our minions would have been better option, just saying. Opposing Caesar was my final headache. I mean, I guess he was a headache throughout the battle, but considering that our horsemen could not catch up with them, that was somewhat disappointing. The War Dogs, well, they did good for my team, but they could have been even more perfect. They could have been invaluable. They could have been such a game changers. Opposing team's best player, of course, is Scipio. Those horsemen repelled basically any attack thrown at them. From the War Dogs, they messed with me. Well, there were not many options left back then, or back at the end. They countered most of opposing cavalry, or my team's cavalry, and they were just all over the place. They were there where we needed. They were played really well in this match. And of course, their second best player, Miltiades with pikemen. That break ranks saved him so many times. It is just unbelievable. I also am not surprised about their elephants. They have average score for naive elephant player. At least they did manage to kill an infantry unit or two, but they could have been used in the middle as a vital support unit. If we take a look at both teams, we can already see that my team could use a bit more infantry to defend its ranged units, because ratio 1-to-1 does not cover it, especially if the ranged units are not defending themselves, which I highly suggest, especially if you're playing Greek, because the spear units are invaluable ever since they don't do friendly fire. And well, me and the War Dogs are not very capable defenders. This was a match where we literally had great chances. If we would have killed the opposing catapult, we probably could have beaten back most opponents. If we would have then defended one ranged player, one ranged units, we might have had chances. But this is the hand I was dealt, this is what happened, and now I have to live with it. Well, anyways, don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.